So hi, so this is a hands-on introduction to Qt. So I have put in some links in the previous lecture. So the first link, of course, is to register yourself on the Qt's website. This is the link, and then you can simply go to Google and type Qt open source, and that should actually take you directly to the web page where we can download the open source version. So Qt actually has two versions, one for commercial purpose and one for open source, just for people like us. So so just go at the bottom and then just say download the Qt online installer. So it will actually download a file for you. This is, I think, around 30 or 40 MB file or something like that. So it will automatically detect your platform and everything. So you can simply click on download, and then it will download the online installer for you. So now the file that gets downloaded, this is the file. If it doesn't have the executable permission, you can simply do chmod plus x, and then no, it already has, so I don't need it. I did not need it, but in case your file is not executable, you can do it like this. Then just run it, and this is what it will give you. It, as you can see, the first thing it will ask you for is username and password. So please do that. Please put in your credentials here. Then the next thing it asks you is to just accept a few agreements and stuff. So you just here I'm saying that I'm an individual and I'm not going to use it for any commercial purpose. So this is the open source setup. You can see welcome to open source Qt setup. So now we are going to install this one. It will fetch some repository information, and so this is up to you whether you would like to keep this or not. It's up to you. So here at this particular step, you should choose the custom installation, and I already have a Qt installed here, so I'll just make it Qt2 just to show you the next step. And you make it custom installation here. Now if you actually select this whole Qt thing, it will, I think, take up around 15 GB of space or something like that. But then you can see that this has so many things, you have support for Android and so many other things. We really don't need all those things for now. So just select the desktop GCC 64-bit version, and also select the Qt creator. This is something that we would like to use. It's a drag and drop editor for building Qt related applications. And yeah, so total, I think it should be a few GBs of space it should take. So I'm not going to install it again, so please select this and click on next and install these things. Once you are done, um, so for example, it is currently at my home and slash Qt. So here what I really want to use is the the creator tool, Qt creator tool. That is the tool that we can use for drag and drop, drag and drop, making applications in a drag and drop fashion. So I simply go to creator. Where is it? Bin, and I think here it will be, yeah, so Qt creator. And this should come up. Okay, this is the Qt creator. It's a pretty neat thing. um, so what you can do is just say new file or project. So let us, there are many things out here. What we are going to do is we are going to create a Qt widgets application. This is basically the normal window application. So just choose this one, and you have to give a name. Let us call it the first Qt project, and I'm putting it here. uh, just select the defaults everywhere for now. So it will take some time for parsing and building and everything like that, but it should be up and running within a few seconds of time. Now, the first thing you can see is that this is C++ code, okay? C++, whatever way you, it is actually C++. And there are some header files here. There is just one header file to begin with. This is standard way of defining the header files that we have been doing. There is a new namespace here, and there is a class called main window, which is basically extending the Q main window class. So this is the way of creating a main window in Qt. And there is this main window.cpp. There are some methods being defined here. This is the constructor, and these are the constructor and destructors only. Then if you go to the forms part and click on this is where it becomes really interesting. So this is more of a drag and drop way to create your window application. So maybe the first thing we can do is we can probably change the title of our window. So you can see on the right side there are whatever you are going to select on this particular side in this particular view. You can change its properties. It could be a widget or it could be the main window itself. There is a property editor here, so you can go in and see all the properties here. So for example, I'm going to change the title from main window to, let us say, first Qt application. That is the first property I'm going to make a change to. Here there is a central widget. This these dotted places which looks like a breadboard, they are basically the place where you can add your UI widgets. And then there is a menu bar and a status bar that is provided to you by default. And you can actually add a menu here. You can simply say file, and then a menu gets created. As of now, I'll just say quit, right? So something has been added here anyhow. So this is my menu. There is a status bar also here. If I want to use, I can use it. But let me show you the actual way to add widgets here. So the most common widget is probably a button. So I just dragged a button from here, and I'm going to put it here. Okay, now I can use the property editor to do so many things here. For example, I can change the name. For the first thing I'll do is I'll change the name to something else. The name as in the variable, the field that is associated with this particular button in C++. You can go and by the way, this is the place where you can navigate through your widgets. So there is a menu bar, there is a file menu, and then there is an action within it called quit. Similarly, this is the central widget, and then I'm basically adding a push button to this. So let me name it to some other button. What shall I call it? Click me button, whatever it is, right? So that is one thing that I'm going to do. I'm also going to change the text of display. It is currently saying push button. Let me change it to something else. Here it is the text part. I can make it say click me please, or something like that. So now you can see that this is what the text has changed. I can drag it to make it slightly bigger, and then I'll add a label here. A label is just a text display thing, so I'll just put it here. And again, I can change the name of the label. Let us call it message label. And I can also change the text here. I can say please don't click on the button, let me see, right? So so now this is the label. It is a bit short, so I can drag it to make it bigger, something like this. And you can see that the alignment, you can again use the same property editor to change the alignment here. So for example, you can go here in the alignment part. Currently it says horizontally it is being aligned to left. I can make it horizontal H center. And you can also change the vertical alignment, but we are not going to use vertical alignment here. So anyhow, so this now looks much prettier. And let us first run this and see how it looks like. So here on this side there is the button to run it. Just click on run. It will ask you to save everything. Just say save all. It will take some time to build the application, maybe a few seconds or so. mm, First time it should probably take slightly longer, but after that it might happen pretty fast. So this is the build part, and yeah, so this is the window. It says on the on the title bar, it says my first Qt application. I have a menu here, right? It only has quit, and then this is a button. It doesn't do anything, but yeah. And this is the label. This is the message that I'm trying to show. Now let me just add some events to it. I talked about event handlers. So in Qt, the terminology that they use is signals and slots. So basically, I would like to add some code for the click slot for this button. So just right click it and just say go to slot, and these are the slots that I can pick one from. So I'll say clicked, and so now it has taken me back to the code window. So this is the class main window, and I'm adding a function to it. So don't worry about how this function and will eventually be invoked. But basically the idea is whatever I want to do whenever that button is clicked, I should do it here. So maybe the first thing I can do is just add a cout statement. So that will I'll have to add iostream. mm, okay, include iOS stream. Okay, and then I can do std mm, cout. This should work, I guess. um, you know the button was clicked, and then std endl. Okay, and let me just run it again. It'll ask me to save everything. It will rebuild the application again, and all those make files that you've been using all this while, now you will realize how cool those make files are. So essentially there is a make process being happening in the background right now. So those make files, if you've already become accustomed to them, it's a good thing, right? Whenever you will build applications, those make files are going to be handy for you. So anyhow, it is taking slightly longer. Should not take. uh, what's going on? mm, it is still building. Finished one out of two steps. mm, Application output. So this is the place where the application's output comes up. So if you put, yeah, so this is kind of the console here, right? So the terminal, to be honest. So if you click on something, and you can basically say, see, these things are being here. So yeah, so at least this part works. Whenever I click here, um, there is something being printed here, right? So let us just stop this application for now. And but this was not really helpful. Let me use up that label that I had created. So here I can go back to the UI again. So I want to make a change to this label. So let us go back to the same code that we have been seeing. And the way to access that label is, there is a UI thing here. The UI field actually, it's basically a pointer that is going to point to the fields that you have in your system. So what is it? I think it should be label, right? Didn't I change the name? mm, I think I did change the name. Okay, let me just check. UI. Okay, is it just the label part? Maybe I have not saved it or what. Let me just try first the label thing. Set text. Yeah, set text. um, if you clicked the button, let me see if this is the label. It is. It should not be, but let me just try it out. uh, Maybe I have not saved these things here. Should have changed. I've changed the name. Okay, I'll just have a look at it. But the idea is that I want to make a change in the label when the button is clicked. I think that part is not yet saved. This is the problem. um, I have not saved it. Anyhow, so let me first try this out. Yeah, so I have not changed it. That is the problem. I'll just change this. So this is the idea. If you click on this button, you can see that the label's content changed, right? I should just save it here. I think then it should work. Save. And then if you go back to main window.cpp, um, UI. What is happening? Why is it not being able to? Okay, so maybe there is some saving issues, right? So it should actually reflect it as message label, but it is currently just showing it as label. Anyhow, the idea was to um, haven't I saved it? Then it should save it as message label. Anyhow, the idea is to basically capture those events and then make them. I'm not sure why this is not showing it as message label. Ideally it should say it as message label. Anyhow, it has not changed, or it has not updated it, right? So maybe I can just clean the project once and get this to work. So this was the idea. This was the idea that you can actually add a label like this and then make its text change. Let me just save it. And another thing that I can try to show you is layouting. Let me try it once more. Maybe I can just clean the project and then it should work. Save all. And okay, this worked. So UI. Yeah, it's my system is actually a bit slow. I'm running it on a VM, so probably it will not be that bad for you. So yeah, the autocomplete is actually pretty good in Qt. It's just that my system is quite slow. So the idea is that I want to show you. Yes, now it has updated, right? So now after cleaning the code, it has become message label. And I'm just saying set text. Okay, and this is the text. No, so I just write, oops, I am. You clicked on the button. Okay, so this was it took some time for it to work, but yeah, it finally worked. It was some refresh issue. So this we have already seen what happens. It basically means that whenever you click on that button, the text of the label changes. So this was quite easy. We can, in fact, let me add something more. Maybe we can just check this part out. The quit thing, the action editor can be used here. I sorry, I had clicked on run, so it should run first. Yeah, it's slow. It's very slow on my system. um, but I think it will not be that slow on your system. So maybe by the time it will come up I can actually show you. So this is an action. An action is basically something that can either be invoked from your menu, or you can add it to that taskbar status bar as well. You just have to, yeah, it works like this. So anyhow, so if I want to do something in the action, again I can simply say go to the slot, and then whenever this action is triggered, what should I do? I can, I think it is Qt app or Q app, something like that. Wait just a minute. Q app, uh, I think it is Q app, something like this. I've forgotten that part. It should the auto fill should have worked. The auto, let me just try it out. Q app or something like that is there. So basically, this is the way to exit the application. It's very slow. That is why I'm not getting these code suggestions. If it is wrong, it will tell me. But yeah, so this is a way to actually exit the application. Again, it's taking quite a lot of time. uh, yeah, this is painstaking, but by the time then this when by the time it actually builds up, let me also show you something more. Maybe I can show you action editor. Yeah, it's actually very slow. um, yeah. So what did I do? I think I just yeah, it worked. Okay, so that was Q app only. So you can go here and check the code. It's Q app. So that is the actual application, and then there is an exit function there. So you can simply call it to exit from the um, from this um, from this application. So that I just showed you how to use uh, an action which is added to a file menu. Now another thing that you would like to do is to learn some kind of some kind of layouting. This is what I talked about, that it is nice to know about layouting. So let me show you something about layouts. So here in Qt there are at least 3 or 4 different types of layouts. I don't remember. So basically these are the 4 that they have. I don't know whether there are any more that are there or not. But a vertical layout is a layout where the the widgets are actually added at equal spacing vertically. So if you keep on adding more widgets to it, let us say I added one. If I add another one, so it simply gets added here. If I add another one, so they are being laid down vertically, right? So this is the whole idea of a layouting strategy, that it doesn't matter how many buttons I put in here, they'll basically go one below the other. And if I stretch it, if I if I shrink it, the buttons are automatically resized and relocated as per the requirements. Similarly, there is, and by the way, if you want all these buttons to go on top, or you want some spacing, there are some spacers available. So spacers are a kind of dummy widget which are added in this layout. So for example, you can add a vertical spacer here. So now this will actually take up all the space that is there. Only minimum amount of space is given here. Similarly, you have this horizontal layout. In horizontal layout, you can keep on adding buttons, and they'll get added horizontally. This is the difference. Here it is being added vertically, and here it gets added horizontally. And you also have a horizontal spacer. You have grid layout. In grid layout, okay, so this, what exactly was it? I think we can probably, it's better to not do it like this. I guess a better way to do it is like this. For a grid layout, you just put it here, something like this, and like this, and then you select it, and there is an option here to put it in a grid. Yeah, this is the way to put it in grid layout. It simply means that they are now in some kind of a grid. I think you can easily stretch it, yeah, like this, and now it is in a 2 cross 2 grid. So this is the grid layout thing. Okay, so this is a very basic introduction to Qt. I will share the code. I don't think it's required, but I still like share the code of this first application. It's a very poor application, but yeah, I'll just give you this code so that you can have a look. I'll just maybe put a vertical yeah, horizontal spacer also, so that we have everything in here, right? So I will save this, and I'll share the code for it, and then you can start playing with Qt the way you want to. Okay, thank you, bye.